Let me know if you can hear me. Keeping in mind this could be extremely annoying for me. There's a slight delay, so I'm going to take my headphones off. If you guys hear a lag, just fully expect a lag. Everyone's internet, at least in my state right now, everyone's internet is super duper slow. I've turned off anything external that could mess with it. My TV's off, not doing anything else. There's only one other person on a computer in the house. And my headphones are off now, so I hope I sound all right. Which means I might accidentally talk way too loud into the microphone. I'm trying to talk really softly. I'm going to turn this a little bit, so sorry. Thought I might get it up and running real quick. I thought I would see the chat and the screen. It's still to the side, but I was trying to figure out this little widget where it would be like on the screen. I'm not cool enough to figure that out yet, I guess. But hello. Let me see who is here. I thought I was going to have to be on camera tonight, so I put my contacts in because even though I can read better with my glasses on, I thought it would be super distracting for you guys to just see the screen reflecting in my lenses. So I put my contacts in, which, by the way, one is for reading and one is for distance. Wrap your head around how confusing that is. And they're not like as good as my glasses can be. I just got another commercial mid-stream. I don't know if you guys did too. What the heck? Okay. I should just get rid of all of the commercials. Hold on. Let me see if I can do that. That's super annoying. Let's not monetize the stream, eh? That's really irritating. Let's get rid of the commercials. I'll say hi to you guys in a second. I'm just gonna get rid of it. Get rid of the ads. It's really annoying. Yeah. There we go. Now it should be fine. All right. Well, there was 2 for me, and I just turned the stupid thing on, so that is really distracting. I hope it sounds good. I'm having a hard time seeing the chat because once again, I have in contacts and they're not. God. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bitching about like first world problems. Wow, right? It's nice. It was nice at work not to bump into things because my glasses had a super wide set on them. I constantly hit the side of my glasses and then it would hit my nose all day, all the time. Super irritating. So the contacts I thought would really help with that at work. And I was wearing this is the first time I've worn my contacts since I've been in quarantine or whatever you want to call it. I don't know about you guys, but everybody in my state is super pissed that we have an extended stay at home. And our stay at home order is super laxed. Like, I don't know how everyone else's is, but okay, let me start the top here and say pretty flutter by star. Hello. Mandy Mortem. Hey. Tim Willis. Hello. Phantom Zone 318. It has been a while. Ronnie. Hello. Pooh Bear. Hey. Sorry again if I get too close to the microphone or have a lot of pops in my P's. I can't. If I put the headphones on, I'm just going to hear myself constantly reverbing in my own ear, and that's going to be really confusing. I can't figure out that. I can't believe I'm even on here with a video playing in the background. Again, I thought I would be smart enough to figure out how to get the chat on the screen. Still haven't figured it out, so sorry. All right, where'd I leave off? Pooh Bear. Gling. Hey. Yeah, it has been a long time. Immunity Zero. Hey. Hey. Creepy Blonde Girl. Hey. Creepy Blonde Girl. Hours. hours of watching how-to videos and going back and forth. I don't know why YouTube did this to us. Yes, let's make it more difficult. Google Hangouts was literally like you scheduled it and hit a button when it was time. And this was like, I'll just save everybody the boring, annoying details. Mr. Angel P, is that what that says? Sorry, it's too far away. R, Mr. Angel R. Hello. Hey, you all. Pops and My Peas is the new single by Duchess. Pff, yeah. One hit wonder. It was so, yeah, it was. Why would they take that away from us? There's got to be a simpler format. I don't know why they got rid of the old. I'm sure like there's a reason why you get rid of the old tech and bring in the new. However, don't you work out all the tech bugs before you throw it to everybody and say, here, figure it out. Anyway, I feel smarter. Not smart enough to get the friggin' chat on the screen, but smarter than I was before I started this process today. Oh, man. How is everybody doing? Are you guys healthy? Are you guys okay? Mentally, too. I know it's hard to be isolated from people. It's hard to be isolated from people and be worried about everything simultaneously. And I know that people are worried about a lot right now. But we're going to distract ourselves from that. So this live stream is not to be insensitive to anybody, but hopefully will serve as a sort of distraction, you know, distract myself too. Yeah, Creepy Blonde Girl, I didn't watch yours. I went there, but I'm having a hard time concentrating on videos right now. Like, I'll click on someone's video. This is not this isn't me trying to be snotty to anyone. But when I look at the time in a video and it's longer than 10 minutes, my impatient brain is like, nope, can't do it. I'll watch like 2 minutes of it and I'm like, I can't wait for the rest of it. I can't do it. I don't know why. Maybe because everyone's being forced to be in one spot right now. It's just, I don't know. Now, unless it's a video that I know I'm going to put in my ear and I'm going to fall asleep to it, then it can be 3 hours long, but hey, Element. Did I miss someone else? Oh, Tara, yeah. I don't know if you guys remember, I haven't touched it in a year, but I did start like a tarot card reading channel, and she told me that I was what'd she say, something about worshiping Satan or something like that, and that got her blocked right there. I don't have time to explain simple things to people who are just not going to understand it no matter what you do. So I'm finally at that point in my life. Hey, Dubco. Normally I like really long videos, but I think it's just the current like state of the world where like if you have to sit still for something that, you know, I don't know. I need to find something to do with myself. I have plenty of things to do. I don't know why. I know it's a mental thing. Everyone else can relate, I'm sure. She's nuts. Oh yeah, she is for sure. So now we know to do a video of 9 minutes and 59 minutes. No, that's just funny immunity. That is just something wrong with me, no one else. I probably should share this link on Twitter, right? I thought I would start it a few minutes before 9 just in case it didn't work and I could try something else. Just in case. Mandy, you shared it. Thank you. It's been so long since I did this. I totally forgot to do that. Somebody named Empress of Eating was going to come just to watch me crash and burn, which is fine. But I don't know if she has another username in here. 2020 is the big hot mess. Yeah. Didn't we all say 2019 needs to go? 2020 is going to be my year. I think everybody fucking said that. Yeah. It's a year everyone crashes and burns simultaneously. I think here's the positives that I feel will come out of this. Number one, we're going to realize what we really truly need, because a lot of people, and you can all admit this, have been completely distracted from what is really important in life. Another thing that's very obvious that needed to be put in the forefront is the American health system, including medical supplies, but also a shortage of nurses and doctors. And my hope is that they'll create some sort of expedited process to gain more nurses. There used to be specific nurse programs that were dedicated, and we'll get them in there, train them, and get them in a hospital. And now it just seems like people that I know have been waiting a year, 2 years, or longer to get into nursing programs because there's just not that many that exist. Another thing I think that has been trying to make its way to the forefront but just keeps getting pushed down is the fact that people that work retail, people that work these essential jobs that aren't in the hospitals, do deserve a frigging living wage and health care, and they don't deserve to be expendable people. These are things that needed to be recognized, that are being forced to be recognized. So those are things that are good, I think, that'll come out of this. We all already know all the bad. Oh, I got to catch up on what did I miss anyone? Oh, Swedish Mom, hey. I'm with you. I already shared the link. Oh, thank you. Miss the stories. Are we going back to them soon? Yes, indeedly do. Oh, no. Hey, William. Who's William? Those were hospital programs which are no longer in use. What are you talking about, creepy blonde girl? Expedited nursing programs. Right here, I mean, alone, there's lots of people that are, they've gotten their associates in, their pre-nursing prerequisites in, and then they wait to get into the nursing programs. I mean, it depends on the area, it depends on the school. I'm just really hoping that they come up with a better solution to the current one, in addition to the supplies. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That should have never been an issue. That shouldn't be the number one issue. Number two being how many people can't even afford health care. How many people aren't even going to go get tested because they don't have any money? Yeah, people say there's free testing, but in my area, haven't seen it, haven't heard of it. So if you guys have any free testing, you're very, very lucky. Anyways, I'm diving into the dark part of this. You guys will see lag, so just so you know. Did you talk about white? Oh, yeah, someone brought her up. Right, exactly. That's another issue with that. I don't know if just the video is lagging or the audio is lagging too. Hey, Xena Ray. And Isaiah too. Hello. Oh, hello. I didn't even see you though. That's the first one. Amazing Lover 96. That is a bold statement. Kudos to you for being that brave. I'm back to work now at my essential job in pharmaceuticals for the evening. Had a great stream, minimize DM away. Ah, okay. See, immunity. Creepy blonde girl's talking about doing an enormous collab, which I haven't been a part of or done one in a while myself. I was talking to Celestial Noor about that earlier, about how I don't know. I'm at Christmas I used to do this enormous collaboration, and at Halloween. But it's a lot of work, and when you ask a lot of people to turn in audio, it's really hard to get them all to get it back to you in time. Most of the first couple years I did it, it was pretty great. But then after that, you have new people that you don't really know what the return rate's going to be like with the audio, and then the time it takes to render the videos. Whew. But I had a lot of fun with that. There's like a Christmas one I did from 2017. That's probably my favorite one, because I told people to just let loose with whatever they had, and they really did. Hey, Fear the Great White. Hello. Harry reads. Hey. Harry. Oh yeah, you were part of my the last Halloween one I did too. Was she in another stream and she got blocked? I have a question for everybody here. Are you having to resubscribe to Goth and Alternative within the last 3 months? Onyx Nightshade, hello. Hello. Multiple channels? Oh man. Wonder what she said. I'm trying to remember things that she was saying in the chats. I don't know. We're just going to keep it light. I've picked out some things for us to read, and I'll let you guys vote on them, but I did get one thing inspired by a tweet I saw, and I tried to retweet it, but it said, type a sentence that is 100 times creepier when it's whispered. So I Googled the 20 creepiest things you can whisper in someone else's ear when you give them a hug. So that one we're going to read for sure, because it's funny. Loosen it up. But then here's the 3 that you guys can choose from. Let me make sure it sounds like it's buffering. No. Okay. Let me see. Number 1. First up, you guys can choose. I've got 3 different ones, so we might read them all, depending on how it goes and depending on if the stream doesn't get interrupted. Okay, first choice is 17 people share their scariest fight or flight stories. Seems like I've read that before, but I haven't had a stream or any video up for 6 months, so hey. The next choice is people describe... Hold on a second, I gotta scroll up so I can see what that is. 21 people describe the most traumatizing horrors they've ever experienced. Or, I just hit my nose on the microphone. Sorry. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that because I don't have my headphones on. I did explain earlier that if I have my headphones on, there's a lag in the streaming software. I can't figure out how to mute that, so I'll constantly hear myself reverb. The third choice is everyday people describe the creepiest thing that's ever happened in their homes. A lot of people are losing subscriptions to Goth and alternative channels. They are having to resubscribe. Never seen her write anything bad. Read the holy book of my religion. She was always talking about playing with herself and just snickering stuff in general. People got... Oh yeah, she's a wacko for sure. Aw. Not to make fun of people that do need medication or mental health issues, but you never know. Creepy blonde girl. Oh, you got to go to bed because I need to work in the morning. Thank you for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. What is that from? That sounds like a snotty line from a movie. I can't remember what it is. Anyway, I didn't mean it to be snotty. I just thought it'd be funny. Bye. Just join the convo. Lipstick Lisa. Hey. For sample. Oh, Duchess is back after a year and a half. Oh, half a year. Yeah. For sample. That's right. 6 months. Last year, I thought was more than I could bear. And it just started to get to me. It got really hard to talk about traumatic things when something traumatic continued to happen in our family. So I needed a break. It was hard to read stuff like that. Sometimes you just have to distance yourself, even if you like doing the stuff, just because it messes with your mind. But 2020 is trying to kick everyone's ass equally, so here I am to entertain. Blood, Guts, and Gore. What's that? Is that a channel? 2 or 3? 3. Only 2 people have voted on it, so we're probably going to go with the third one first, because no one's voted on the options I gave you. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Or I am glad I actually got a video playing for you guys in the background, although I wish I would have gotten a better one. I just found like the first video I had saved in my computer that said full moon, but I didn't know it was like relaxing scenery and not creepy, which is fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Hardy kicked mine. Gling 2020. Might want to lose the 2020 on your name. A kiss of contagion on your cheek. Generous gifts to you to enhance your physique. Talented. Story number 2. 3. 3's winning so far. I'm UK, by the way. So it is 3 o'clock in the morning there. I'm just guessing. I think you guys are 5 or 6 hours ahead. Something like that. 2019 sucked. Lost my parents. 2 months apart. Oh my God, that's so sad. Okay. Number 2 and 3 options are tied. Oh, sorry, Gling. Well, that's good. Phew. Think of all the things we probably have with 2020 all over them. 2020 is supposed to actually be, like, numerology wise, it's supposed to be a really good year. I can't even finish the sentence. 2:13 a.m. Yep. Woo. You must be bored as hell. How is it over there? Like, are you guys all on lockdown? Like, I think I was seeing something where someone kept going to the shop. That's how you guys say it, not to the store. You guys say going to the shop. But people are going to the shop like 5 and 6 times a day. And the cops were like, there was no one on your streets. No one. And the cops were monitoring it. It's not like that here at all. It's going to get so much worse here. Oh my gosh. I'm getting reeled in by it and I'm trying to deter from it. It's just so hard when I see someone from another side of the planet and I want to know firsthand, how is it going there? For real, not just from a news perspective or a Facebook perspective. How is it going from a person who actually lives there? Mark Bot, hey. Wheeze. I sound like I have a wheeze too. Where is all the damn toilet paper? I don't know, but all the people that bought it tried to return it, and then they were rejecting the returns, which I thought was hilarious. Why would you let so many people buy 10 packages of toilet paper at one time? The stores are the real contributors to the problem because they just saw the money and went, oh, hey, I'm going to take all this money. You should have limited it from the beginning. Problems already solved. But no. Whatever. Oh, God. We're only 4 months in. 4 months in. Oh, my God. An asteroid is supposed to almost hit us at the end of the month. Awesome. kind of on lockdown here, but work retail and it's crazy. Saw a picture of a sheep cake earlier and it took me back I still can't watch that video without dying. And tomorrow's Easter. I had made that for Easter. I should have taken a picture. I made 2 completely different ones, and one actually went to the house for Easter, and the other one was a perfect square. We're staying home. Have my 84-year-old mom here. Oh. So how does it work here? Like if you guys need supplies from the store, here we have all kinds of services that will do a no contact, like they'll leave it. You pay for it through your phone or through your computer, and they'll deliver it, leave it on your porch. No one's interfacing. But I mean, still someone's touching all the stuff. But if you have everyone at home, there's less contagion. So how do you guys have services like that there? I don't mean to sound stupid, but I don't live there, so I don't know. No lockdown here. Swedish mom, where are you? Oh, Sweden. Duh. My God. Instacart? Right, but you live in America, don't you? Gling? Is Instacart international? I have no idea. I don't know what is available to everybody everywhere and what is not. I'm just curious, because isn't Uber international? It really bugs me that I couldn't get the chat on the video screen to the left. I'm gonna achieve that before the next one. We go to the shop here. So if you go to the shop, is it one person at a time, or do you go to the door, tell them what you need, they get it, and you pay outside and stay outside? I'm not trying to sound stupid. I don't know. And I'm not a big fan of just believing everything I hear. I'm curious as to what it's really like. Yes, you are. I didn't start reading anything yet. And I actually started a few minutes early just to make sure it was going to actually work, because I wasn't sure. Cats. Hello. Yes, Zena, that's so scary. Here in New York, it's bad. Yeah. How do you guys get supplies there? Because you guys are on lockdown, aren't you? And there's so many people in New York. Instacart failed miserably for my family because it was taking hours for them to get to the store. And by the time they got to the store, all the stuff we ordered was out of stock. Oh, yeah. That happened to me. I thought it would be easier if I placed an order through Walmart, and then I would just go and pick it up instead of going inside the store. But every time I tried, the order got canceled because of high demand. So I went through our local chain of grocery stores and tried to do it. So I'm like, I did that hours after I got the cancellation notice from Walmart. So I go on it's VG's here. I don't know if anybody's from the area. Go on their website, make the order for Saturday between 6 and 6:30, and I call them today and ask them, making sure it didn't get canceled. And she's like, yeah, but you do know this is for the 18th, right? And tomorrow's Easter, and all the stores are closed for Easter. So, I mean, we have food. I'm just a preparer, you know. That's terrible. Uber doesn't exist in Japan. Oh, no. Which is probably good, considering all the horror stories we've heard about that. I only made it to round 2. What's funny is I got an email. First, I was getting all these emails from who apparently were judges. I never got them for the first round, but the second round I did. Random. Didn't know who the people were. They had no names attached. Just random critiques, etc., etc. Well, like a week later, scores are final. So then I tweet, because I'm excited, final scores posted. And then when I go to the website, the winners are posted. There's only 5 people's pictures up there, but then everybody's name. Mine was number 10. But then, right after I tweeted it, or the next day, there have been some people that were voted out. So, yeah, I'm confused about that whole thing. I mean, I'm glad I did it. I won't do it again, probably. But I'm glad I stepped out of my comfort zone. I'm not a big, like, I don't know if this makes any sense. I like the thrill of competition, but I'm not one who enjoys peeing. I'm not one who enjoys seeing other people not win, if that makes sense. Like, I just want everyone to win. Not like a participation trophy. I just like, I don't want to be, I'm not one of those in your face. Now my husband might disagree for playing cards, but that is totally different. And you all know that. Who did you ask? Walmart here is open to everybody. Oh yeah, it's open, but this was when they didn't want anyone to go to the store. And also, I had gotten tested and wasn't sure if it took like 5 days to get my test results back, which was torture, by the way. So if anyone has to wait for the results for that to come back, and then you watch the news and watch the numbers grow where you're living. We hit 23,000 here today, which is probably, well, I believe, surpassed California a while ago, because people in my state are complaining because they can't go boating, or they can't, like, they literally want to recall our governor because they don't want to stay home. And that just adds stress to everyone who has common sense about not wanting this to get worse. I'm really confused about the state of where I live. My partner goes to shop. Oh, I gotta scroll up. Sorry, I missed a whole bunch of you guys talking. Limited by number, and there are a designated path. My throat's really dry, but if I start drinking the water that I have next to me, I'm going to have to leave to go to the bathroom. So I'm going to avoid it until I absolutely need the water. Yeah, I'm going to try Instacart. I'm going to try some other service next time. But then again, I'm putting someone else at risk. So I don't feel good about that. Or for the government, we are off until this is resolved, but we are still getting paid. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Oh, okay. My partner goes to shop. He started wearing his work mask and gloves about 3 weeks ago, and everyone laughed. Yeah, they're not laughing now, are they? I made people at work wear the masks. Even in our district manager didn't want them wearing them. And the next day after he told them to take them off, the corporate policy became everyone wear them. And then the CDC recommended that everyone wear them. So always trust your gut. Don't give a crap what other people think. When you and your gut feel like something's right, follow it. Doesn't matter if other people think you're stupid. Mr. Fake News President talked about Sweden and how difficult because of the virus. Thanks, Zena. Chilling Tales thing was a horror story on its own. They were harassing some people to participate, among other things. Yeah, I wasn't going to participate because of the dates kept changing, and I don't know. I'm glad I tried it, but I probably won't again. Some of the people, I'm sure, are like seasoned professionals on top of it. I'm just like, plus I hadn't read anything in so long, was way out of practice. Probably sound like a dead person reading. I don't know. Ever played Phase 10? Yes! I love Phase 10. Love it. What's another one we play here that everyone gets addicted to? Not Uno, but it's similar to Uno and Phase 10. I don't know. I'll think of it in a minute. Or I can just go look at the cards that are over there. Yeah, Markbot's got a channel. Go check her out. I think she's almost going to hit 3,000 if she didn't already. Hope everyone remains safe. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah. Not trying to sound sarcastic, but I do. Not here to promote it. Nope. I always want people to tell everyone their channel and drop a link in the chat box. I always encourage anybody that comes that has a channel to do that. For sure. I do it every time. I think it's fair. It's the only way people can really get promoted because this genre is still really buried in the YouTube world. I ever stumbled on an area of YouTube you never even knew existed? I got a sewing machine last week so I could start making some masks. I didn't know there was like 1,000 sewing channels. Oh my God. And how much money you can make sewing? Anyway. Squirrel. That's who's missing. Autumn. I haven't seen her. Melissa Perez. Hello. Yep. Up the nose. Everyone said it was way worse than what it was, but I don't think he went up far enough. I've never slept more in my life, but a lot of people said I was probably stressed out, which I completely would accept as an accurate analysis. I would think a lot of people are beyond stressed out to a level where you can't really even understand how stressed out you are because it just builds up every day. So Benages, people can be so dumb. Yeah, I know. Can you imagine how fast this would be over if everyone just stayed home straight 2 weeks? Just get everything that you need, which would be so impossible for some people though. It really would. Amazon. I need to look into that. We have that too locally. Skippo. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. That's exactly the game I was talking about. Skippo. That's my biggest addicting game right there. Oh, please. There's no ageism here. So only a mod can put up links. Also, I don't know how to make people mods. So but Markbot's channel is Markbot. So can't you click on someone's little icon and go to their... No, I guess you can't. Oh, hang on. I'm not discounting that we are going to be reading stories at some point. If you guys still want me to. We're all like in squirrel territory. I think it's fine. Have you ever subscribed to a channel at a time where you like don't know, what was going through your head, and then you constantly, even if you unsubscribe from that channel, you're constantly reminded that you subscribed to that channel because it pops up in your suggested field, so it never goes away. It's always there, rubbing itself in your face. Why can I not? Hang on a second. You guys still there? I'm looking at the side thing over here. I don't like that they only show me specific things that I'm subscribed to, because I'm subscribed to over 1,000 channels on here. I don't know if everybody else has that problem, but I sure do. Markbot, I cannot find your channel in a search or in my subscriptions because I have 1,000 friggin' things in there. I wonder if I can go to my subscriptions and search. How do I just make it appear? I don't know. Every time I see that, my eyes... What now? I missed it. Every time I see that, my eyes water. The nose test. Yeah, but some of them are really cramming the nose test up there way too far, trying to demonstrate it's worse than it is. It's the same thing as when you get tested for, is it the flu? Don't they do the same thing? It's the same thing. I just don't think that the guy stuck the thing up there. I have really thin nostrils, and I think he was afraid he was going to hurt me. I'm not saying I have a weird nose. I'm just saying I don't think he put it up there far enough. I can sleep for 2 days without a wee. That's talent right there. Oh, okay. So if you click on her name, it goes to the channel. I do that, but I don't do it anymore. Is that the green giant element? I can't see it. It's too small. Ha, Harry. Go to channel, only get up, block and delete. What? No, Markbot. Dalananan. That just popped in my head when I saw that number. Where was that from? There's too much crap. I wish there was a way to, like, for your brain to collect useless crap that you collected along the years that mean absolutely nothing. They're not going to help you. So you can just dump them. So you can make room for new stuff. I don't know. Squirrel. Can you guys click on her face now? How do I... All right. Now you can put your link up there. How about that? So I made you a moderator. Thanks, Onyx. Yeah. Through mental health. I think everyone's mental health is being tested to the extreme right now. So anybody that's hanging it, just barely hanging in there, man, hang in there longer. Find something to distract yourself for sure. It's the lungs. Right, it's airborne. Isn't he just the cutest? Yes, for sure. Trying to find a squirrel. Ha. Foxy is cute. That's how memory works. That's another thing. Another thing, when I was talking to the doctor about it, I'm just going to say this for a minute, and then I'm going to move on and distract ourselves with something else. But there were several things that this doctor, we talked for a long time about this, and his alarming, the casual manner of the people where I live that are not taking this seriously is absolutely alarming. People don't want to listen to anything. And the terror that you can feel watching the other states that locked down and kept their numbers low, it seems like an obvious win-win there. And our governor is, granted, she should have locked down before. But I think she's afraid of people not liking her. Like, she shut it down. People are calling her a bitch, and they're calling her stupid. And they want to recall it. And I'm like, I told my husband earlier, I'm like, can you imagine what they would have said about her if she would have said absolutely no one leaves your house, lock down, take it serious? They would have tried to friggin' kill her. Like, it is, I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. The amount of people that think it's a hoax still. They think that they're trying to infringe on our civil liberties. I don't know. And there's the anxiety. Okay, we're going to distract ourselves with stories. Reading them. I gotta distract myself too. There's a squirrel. Some people are too cool for school. Well, seems to be the general census here. Have to start, I live in Michigan. Red star in a long time. What's red star? Is someone here I didn't see? Okay, I'm going to distract myself, and hopefully I distract you guys too, because talking about it, I can feel my heart's beating a little faster, and it is Not only is the whole thing in general upsetting, but the general lack of concern here is... Anyway, my dog just knocked over my tablet. My dog is knocked out. I took her on a super long car ride today. I was going to go on a walk afterward, but by the time I got home, I don't know, it was way cold outside here, which it's probably warm everywhere else, but it was like 50. Ice cold wind. It did snow 2 days ago, so there's also that. There's no snow on the ground anymore, but anyway. All right. Well, maybe some people will pop in now. Like, who's a couple of tall guy? Paul Reed? No, Paul Coates. There's a couple people that regularly, you know, will come, and if I post in the community tab, will say something. But I had a hard time setting up the live stream time, and then it kept changing because I was testing the software and I kept messing up the time. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll pop in if they see it. Okay. Oh yeah, 5G. Okay, I'm not gonna do any. Okay. All right. So the first thing I wanted to read. We'll see if these are funny or not. Just to shake off the crust of the world. Is 20 of the creepiest things to whisper in someone's ear when hugging. You're supposed to do a long sniff. You smell different when you're awake. I don't know who you could hug like this. Like, what situation would you be in where you would hug someone like that and they would actually believe that you've smelled their hair when they were asleep? What situation would that apply to? And it would be hilarious, but also believable. Horror fan. I imagine there probably wouldn't be a lot of people here that used to come on the regular just because I haven't been on here in so long. Let's see. What's the second thing? Number 2. Please help me. And then smile as if nothing happened. Now, the next one just says, soon. Whatever. That's something you hug like a strange, like you say that to somebody, like if you meet your little sister's boyfriend and you hug them and you don't like them and you just say, soon. You know, you creep them out. The next one says, if you're a girl, if it's a girl you're hugging and you're the guy, I don't know about that, but anyways, it says, I can feel them pressing against my chest. I think those are the only thing I miss about being a woman. Wow. Okay. I don't know. They're so stupid. They're funny. Soon. When I was joining a sorority, there was one event where the lights were out, candles on. As you left, they hugged you and whispered in your ear, we hope your choice is the same as ours. Yikes. Number 5 says, a good friend of mine, we're both males, enjoy creating awkward situations by hugging in public when we see each other. We don't do the manly back pound hug. Instead, we do the arms up and under each other's armpits hugs. We slowly rub each other's back and say loud enough for everyone to hear, so nice, so safe, so nice. And then we separate with a big sigh, and it can silence a room. Well, that's friggin' hilarious. I think they enjoy it more than they let on to, but there's nothing wrong with enjoying a good hug. Nothing wrong with that. The next one says, you have lovely skin. I can't wait to try it on. Let me know if you guys can understand what I'm saying. Am I whispering loud enough? Tonight's the shield. I don't even know. What is that one supposed to mean? Your hair tastes like strawberries. I'm just going to get through this short list and then we're going to read some actual stories. I love hugs. Tonight, you. I don't know. That sounds like a death threat to me. Wait. Don't let go just yet. Subtle, weird, unusual, needy. Ooh. That sounds like that Christmas party you go to and there's that one person there that you're just going to accept is there, but will avoid at all costs. Maybe everybody doesn't have that scenario. Maybe. Oh, yeah. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. That's a good one to say in someone's ear, especially someone you don't know. He knows. Don't go home. I don't know. Some of these sound like, I don't want to scare someone. I want to creep them out I just want to make someone laugh or something. I always knew you would die in my arms. Oh, come on. That's too far. This one is super mean. I can't remember what it's from. Shit. It's getting weird. Let's get weird. The next one says, that'll do, pig. That'll do, pig. What is that from? I say it all the time, too, and now I can't remember what it's from. Every time I poop, I think of you. ASMR for the horrible. There's only a couple more, and then we're going to read some stories. No one will ever believe you. I think it's important when you're whispering something creepy to put an emphasis on an odd word you wouldn't normally. Yes. I bet you didn't feel me lick your ear. Ugh. The next one says I killed Mufasa. I'm not whispering that into the microphone. Stupid. Oh my God, this next one says there are only 4 layers or less of cloth separating us from ecstasy. I don't know who you would whisper that to. Only to someone who you really did not want to ever speak to you again, for sure. Mother told me it would be like this. Oh my God. Oh my God. Well, some of those sucked. Lady Gothic. Couldn't believe my phone when I got a notification you were on. I know it. I can't believe it's working. I got lucky. That's for sure. All right. So we've read some creepy stuff. We've talked about the horrible I won't say it because hey, this stream isn't monetized anyway. For literally 3 days in a row, I sang my corona on repeat. I think that's when I snapped. Ed Gain. The Replacements? No, it's actually from something else. They used that from something else too, and I can't remember what it was from. There's like something in my nasal cavity that's popping when I say certain words, and only I can hear it, but you might be able to also. I don't know if the mic's gonna pick it up. Sometimes when I used to read stories and it would be really bad like that. Allergies, I think it is. But anyway, we talked about that at Socio. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. We are going to read Everyday People Describe the Creepiest Thing That's Ever Happened in Their Homes. And if we are still on and the stream hasn't destroyed itself or inner imploded on itself, we'll read some more if you guys want. So let's go with it. These are from Ranker, Graveyard Shift. This is me also vicariously living my dream of being a really super cool night DJ from when I was young and would watch people be like, hey, cats and girls or whatever. I don't know. I can't even have a cool catchphrase. Hey. Okay, yeah. It just pops or something. Saps, pops. Okay, here we go. Number 1. I don't know how many there are. All the rest of them tell how many there are up front. This one, the title of the, and forgive me if I've read these before and I don't remember, but I don't think I've ever read these before. But hey, I've read a lot on here, so who knows? I probably read everything twice at this point. Number 1 is nearly strangled with barbed wire. My family and I used to live in a rough neighborhood when I was a kid. 7. One night it was just my mom and me and my 2 siblings at home, and my dad was gone on a business trip. That night around midnight, someone started knocking on our door. My mom woke up and went to the front door and asked who it was. No one answered. She thought that maybe it was some kids playing ding-dong ditch, and she went back to bed. About 30 minutes later, again, someone starts knocking. She gets up and peers through the side window to see if she can spot anyone out there, but nobody's there. She starts to worry, so she goes back to the room and grabs my dad's shotgun and sits in the living room in the dark, waiting. Again, there's knocking. My mom begins shouting to whoever it is that she's going to call the cops, and that if anyone tries to come in, she would shoot them. 2 a.m., the police finally show up and do a quick search outside of our house while we wait inside. After their search, they tell my mom that they had found a piece of barbed wire about 4 feet long next to the front door and asked if it belonged to my mom. She said it wasn't hers and asked why. The cop told her it belonged to whoever was knocking on the door. They were planning on strangling my mother with the barbed wire when she opened the door to see who was knocking. They said that she was very smart to not open the door to see who was there, otherwise it would have cost her her life. The cops said that they'd patrol the neighborhood until morning and do a thorough investigation once there was daylight. That morning, as they were searching around the house, they found footprints leading around to the back of the house, leading up to my bedroom window. They had also found nicks in the window sill, where they were trying to pry open the window to break in, but it failed. After that, we moved out of that house. Ooh, that's creepy. Keys ending up outside on the porch after I put them away. Ceiling fan started spinning on its own. Weird noises that can't be explained. Ooh. How many people do I watch? Oh, how many people does Ronnie watch? Oh. I meant wasps. Okay, I'm distracting myself. Talk amongst yourself. Missing dog. I don't know. I don't like doing stories about animals. I just can't. Animals are ones where animals or kids get hurt. So I don't even know. I don't even want to venture into it because I always find out too late that the animal gets hurt. Everyone's upset, and so am I. So skipping it. Number 3. Disappearing mom. When I was younger, I spent the day helping a neighbor rake leaves on his property. He was friendly with my family, so he walked me home to say hi to my parents. We walked into the house and heard my mom upstairs talking. Sounded like she was on the phone and walking around. I called for my dad. No answer. My neighbor says, "Well, it sounds like your mom is on the phone. I'll catch her another time." We say goodbye and he leaves. I go upstairs to see my mom, but I can't seem to find her or hear her at all. I search the house and it's empty. I'm thinking, did she leave the house while I was saying goodbye to the neighbor somehow? I call my dad's cell. My mom didn't have one, and he picks up. I ask him where he is and if he knows where mom went. He says, "We're at the store. We've been running errands for a couple of hours." Instant goosebumps. I was going to say goop bumps. Awesome way to ruin the story, me. My neighbor and I both heard footsteps upstairs and a woman's voice. No idea who or what it was, but we both heard it. I waited outside until my parents got home. Yeah, obviously. Obviously, I think an adult person might do that. For sure. Let's see. Good news is I moved from that place in 2007. See, I come in at the weird times of the conversation where I don't know what's happening. Like the person that keeps asking questions during a movie and you want him to shut up. He's always on. He watches multiple things at the same time. All right, moving on. You guys talk amongst yourself. Number 4 is someone unscrewed all of my light bulbs. I don't know if this is scary enough. We'll find out. Okay. My apartment was robbed once and broken into again a couple months later. The spooky part, I had just moved in when I got very, very ill. I had to go stay with my parents while getting treatment at the hospital. No one had been to my new place or knew the address. It was full of unpacked boxes because I was still too sick to move in properly. They left the TV, left the jar of cash on the dresser. They only took my diaries, multiple diaries. I always buy the same kind, and they date back for years. They were packed in different boxes, too. Some had rifled through my stuff, found the diaries, and took only those. They even left my DIY and recipe books, which are the same style as diaries. So they had to have checked what those books were. My apartment was on the 3rd floor. There was no sign of a break-in, but there was a small handle on the outside of the pillars on the porch that went all the way to the ground. Perhaps they climbed, ? The second time I returned home one night to find the light outside of my door was off. I didn't think much about it except that I'd need to call to get it replaced. I unlocked and opened the door and tried to turn on the light. Nothing. Thought maybe the power had gone out. But then I looked over and saw my microwave and the correct time on it, which for some reason spooked me, and I went to wait in my car after I called the apartment complex on-call agent. He came over and I waited outside. He came and told me to call the cops. It turns out nothing had been taken, but every light bulb in my apartment had been unscrewed just enough so that the lights would not turn on. The cops came and checked it out, found nothing suspicious, but told me to stay somewhere else for the night. The next day, after telling my sister what happened, she and her boyfriend drove in from 3 hours away and installed deadbolts, totally against the complex's policy, but the management was just as creeped out as I was. And nothing else creepy happened in the 2 years I lived there. You lived there for 2 years after you got broken into twice? Why? No? Turbo H2O, hello? If anybody else is here and I didn't say hello yet, let me know. All right, moving on to number 5 is shadows on the wall. You guys can let me know if this is boring. If you want me to go to something else more gruesome, I will. Number 5, shadows on the wall. When I was a kid, I had no curtains or blinds over my window in my room. There's a street lamp just outside my window, so anything that walks past my window, like a deer, would cast a shadow onto the wall opposite of my window. 2 nights in a row, I woke up to see the shadow of a man on my wall. I didn't have enough courage to turn and look up at the window to see who it was. It was late at night, too. I knew it couldn't be my dad because I could hear him snoring. The worst part, my bed was in front of the window with my head at the bottom of the window, so whoever was behind me could probably see me. I think this is the scariest because it's not supernatural. And there's a good chance. There's a good chance it actually was a person creeping in on some little girl's bedroom window. Oh, there's no doubt that's what it was. Dun, dun, dun. I'm getting scared. Until I said chance. There's a chance that it was a creepy cute. I should read them like this. No one's going to be scared of this sound. Oh, it's buffering. Mo, keep reading. Let's see what happens. It's just buffering. It's been going for an hour. And we're good. Everyone hear me? Keep in mind, I did say when I turn this on, there will be buffering, no doubt about it. I've turned off all of my extra things here that could possibly mess with the internet, but I don't know about everyone else's state, but we've been told that they purposely slowed everyone's internet down so that the hospitals could have the maximum amount for themselves. So there will be buffering for sure. Okay? Just know there will be buffering. Okay, going back to the stories. Number 6, a murdered woman in the attic. It sounds sort of disrespectful for me to be so snide, doesn't it? Or cynical or sarcastic. I don't know. I'm losing it. Anyway, at my old apartment, we had strange series of events occur that led us to believe that someone was living in our ceiling. We called her the ceiling lady. Of course you did. Why wouldn't you not go up there and see if there wasn't, I don't know, someone actually trapped up there, living up there? In the middle of the night, we'd frequently hear kitchen cupboards opening and closing. A few times I came home from work to find items on the counter that I didn't buy. I was a total bachelor at the time, as was my roommate. That's the ice machine in the kitchen, in case you can hear that. And we'd find things like dirty cans of beans and cooking ingredients that neither of us bought. Things would go missing randomly from the kitchen. One night in particular was really scary. My roommate gets sleep paralysis, which is spooky in of itself. But one night he woke up and saw a woman in raggedy clothes standing over him, just looking at him. After a few moments, she walked out of the room. The same night, my girlfriend slept over and woke up because someone next to the bed asked her if she was thirsty and realized there was somebody in the room. She was terrified and didn't make a sound. She just stared at the person. I woke up about 10 seconds later because I heard the bedroom door slam, and she was sitting bolt upright. We talked with my roommate about it the next day, and both of them described seeing the same exact person. There was a hatch in the hallway in the ceiling that had been nailed shut long before we moved in. We're convinced that this lady was murdered in the apartment, and her body was hidden in the ceiling, and now she haunts the apartment. Dude, wouldn't you find out if that is a factual statement before just assuming that? Come on. Right. Has everybody saw that video where the guy thought things were happening in his apartment, so he left the camera running all night long, and it found out there was a lady living in his ceiling, and she would come down after he went to bed, eat his food, and then go right back up to, or was it when he went to work? Something like that. Like he thought something was happening, but he thought it was a ghost. He didn't think it was an actual person. And it was an actual person. Yeah. Damn Gypsy, hey. Laura Labs, hey. Yeah, damn Gypsy, how do you like the Michigan? Like, people are not taking it serious here. I don't know how you're seeing it in your city or your area, but no. We hit just under 24,000 today. But trying to avoid the subject, trying to distract ourselves. Squirrel. Back to the stories. Number 7 is ghost phone. My older sister and I shared a bedroom. Since there was a time period when her and I couldn't sleep either due to horrible nightmares, noises in the night, etc., her and I started sleeping in the same bed. I had a queen-size bed and she had a twin, so we both slept in my bed because it was bigger. And we were scared to sleep alone. My bed was put up against, oh shoot, I scrolled up too far, the wall, and this wall was connected to our garage. One night, my sister shakes me to wake me up and says, "Did you hear that?" I sat up groggily and stayed silent. Then I heard a bang, like someone with a closed fist hitting the other side of the wall where my bed was pressed up against. A few seconds later, another bang, coming from a different part of the wall. I sat there in disbelief, and then another bang from another part of the wall. Our door was opened, and you could see across the hall into our parents' room, and their door was closed. Then another bang. So my sister, I screw up the scariest moment. So my sister finally made a fist and started punching the wall back. When she finished, we both sat there in silence as to wait for a response. As we sat there in silence, my cell phone started to ring. Who the hell is calling us at this hour, I thought. Just would like to mention that this happened in 2004. So I crawl over where my phone was on the floor plugged in charging, and I see my sister's cell phone on the display screen. I turn around and look at my sister and say, "Your cell phone is calling mine." Her cell phone was charging right next to mine on the floor, and she had one of those flip phones that back in the day you had to literally open to dial out. Her closed phone somehow managed to call my phone. She looked at me and said, "What?" Then climbed over me to her phone, and sure enough, on the outgoing calls was my number. We hauled ass out of our room. Super creepy how it all seemed to happen at the same exact time. We never did figure out what was banging on our wall. Also would like to mention the banging happened all over from the top right corner all the way to the bottom left, and how it reached all the way to the top of the wall of the ceiling is beyond me. That's what makes me think it wasn't a person. Plus our garage door was locked and closed, and we never heard it open or close. And when we got up to haul ass out of our bedroom, it woke up my parents, so we knew it couldn't have been them. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know if you guys ever go on Ranker, but after each story, it's like, is this creepy? And there's an arrow for yes and an arrow for no. Yeah. You guys falling asleep? Oh. People outside are popping fireworks and howling at the moon. Ooh. Yeah, damn gypsy. Michigan's going to be the worst case scenario example, and I'm really sorry to say that. Just you know this just because we're seeing what we're seeing. Anyway. Number 8. A man in the window. When I was a kid, I was really confused one night when a classmate of mine showed up with her older sister and their mother. They stayed the night in my living room, and no one would explain what was going on. I later found out my classmate had been in her bedroom, turned around, and saw a man looking in her window. She screamed. Her mother came, and the dude just kept staring for a few minutes before he walked away calmly. The police were called, and they told them to go elsewhere for the night. And since all of their relatives were a good distance away, our house was the only place that they could stay. That's it. You really could have elaborated on that one. Like, you really could have hammed that story up a lot more. I'm just saying, if you're going to send in a story, really ham it up. It was like 4 sentences. Oh, yeah. Cats is in Mexico. Is it ever not hot in Mexico? I'm asking literally because I don't know. creepiness time here. Oh, yeah. Okay, that's nice. Okay, I'm distracting you. Good, that's the whole point. And it's distracting me and making me feel better if I'm making someone else feel better. Okay, good. Good, it's all copacetic. It's all copacetic, okay. Number 9, someone broke in and rearranged board game pieces, if I can blurt out the sentence. When I was a kid, we came back from 2 weeks vacation to discover the carved wooden box with the good silverware sitting in the middle of the living room floor. A quick check by my parents revealed that a patio door had been crowbarred, and it looked like somebody had gone through some of our things, so police were called while my parents continued to evaluate. Somebody had broken into the house and gone through everything, and then put it all back neatly, but not the way it was before, and took nothing. All the clothes in the cupboards had been taken out and put back neatly, but in a different way than they had been before. They'd taken the stuff out of each board game and then put it back differently than it usually was. Top to bottom, everything in the entire house. Very thorough. For months, we were still discovering things that were not the way we usually, not the way we usually kept them. That would drive me insane. I would think that was someone that did that on purpose, because I bet you somebody in that house had OCD. I guarantee you, and someone hated them and they came in their house and did that just to fuck with them. Duchess, is there something the matter with me that I enjoy your voice? People say that. People have said that, so hence reading stories online. My throat is actually really sore right now. But it's also allergy season, and I'm not going to drink any of the water until we're wrapping it up, because otherwise I'll have to stop and go to the bathroom 4 times. So I don't know if anybody else is like that, but yeah. That's funny, lady. I think that, yeah, cold weather. What? I mean, it was 50 here today, but it was friggin' freezing. Okay. I'll get distracted. I'm going back to the stories. Attempted robbery by the Joker? Oh, God. What is this horribleness? Okay. When I was in my teens, my parents took a vacation but left their cars in the driveway. It was just my grandmother who lived in our house, my younger sister, and myself for almost 2 weeks. That's a long time. One random night, I woke up to our dog growling and the motion sensor lights in our backyard turning on. I got up and walked toward the front of the house and noticed a shadow coming through the bottom of the door crack. Somebody was standing there. I slowly crept my way to the peephole, and when I looked out, I saw a giant eyeball looking in. I froze for a second in a panic and then rushed to the phone to call 911. As I was running away from the door, the person did one really loud slam on the front door and gave off a laugh that could have been the Joker from Batman. And as I'm calling the police, I run to one of the windows to see if I can see what the person looks like, and notice an old shitty car speeding off down the street. I never knew who it was or why they were there. The police believed it was burglars, thinking nobody had been in the house because the cars hadn't moved in days. Ooh. Yikes. Ooh. I always check the chat between stories because, I feel like I'm going to miss out. Normal is boring. Don't you know that? Plus, what's normal? Tourists creeping through your windows. Oh, God. Our street is almost 200 years old and very picturesque, so it attracts tourists in our city. There have been more than a few times when I have come upstairs from the garden level kitchen living room to the street level first floor to find that if I haven't closed the curtains, tourists will be peeking in, trying to see what the interior looks like. It's annoying and kind of creepy, but I'm used to it. One night I came upstairs to go to bed to find some guy standing in front of our window. Our windows are the original casings, so they've got really heavy wooden interior shutters we close at night. I closed one side because fuck it, I don't care if you want to see in our upstairs living room. I'm tired. I went to do the other and he just gave me this furious look. Like his face just twisted into so much anger that it stopped me in my tracks. We stared at each other for a few moments before he gave me this big, creepy, leering smile and walked slowly down the street. I think I woke up and checked out our deadbolt. And chain 8 times through the course of that night. Ew. It would have been more plausible to also tell us where this person lived and why their neighborhood is so touristy. But whatever. Whatever. It's fine. These aren't Pulitzer Prize writings. All right. Going back to the stories. All right. Eerie violin music at 3 a.m. That's always gonna relax me. Now I'm gonna hear it at 3 a.m. Anyway, I live in a loft downtown, in a downtown area next to a few bars. The entrance to the building is a street side unmarked door randomly placed between businesses. It usually goes unnoticed. It opens directly to a staircase leading to the 3 apartments here. It's been a constant fear that drunk people from the bar mistakenly make their way into my foyer. Back in October, I had the shock of a lifetime. It was about 3 a.m. on a work night, and I woke up hearing 2 very distinct voices coming from my living room area. I have 2 friends who have keys to my place in case they're at a bar and need to sleep it off, but neither voice sounded like them. Then I heard what sounded like eerie violin. I thought 2 drunk people had broken into my apartment and I guess decided to watch a movie or something. I was freaking out, trying to figure it out, and just hid and hoped it would go away. Finally, the sounds just completely disappeared, which was just as disheartening. I didn't hear any footsteps, so it made me think they grew aware of my presence. I grabbed a weapon that I keep next to my bed and slowly creeped toward the living room. Nothing was there. It was pitch black, and everything was turned off. Turns out my neighbor, who owns the film studio I live above, pulled an all-nighter editing his entry to the Halloween horror film contest he hosts every year. He was reviewing his film and accidentally paired my sound bar instead of his own and played the audio very loudly to a horror film to me in my pitch black apartment at 3 a.m. Now that is fucking hilarious and very similar to something else someone told me what they accidentally streamed to their neighbors, but it was not music. And you can take a wild guess as to what that was that you don't want your neighbors to ever hear, ever. No. Okay. I don't think we're going to do this much longer anyways. We've already been doing this a while. 83 minutes, it says, to be exact. 83 minutes. It'll be easier to do this now that I've figured it out. Knock on wood. Knocks on head. Okay. This is, number 13 is syringes in the floorboards. When we first moved in, we found a bunch of drugs and syringes hidden in a hole in the floorboards of a closet in one of the bedrooms. Yikes. One night, after months of us living here, my dad heard a noise downstairs, so he went down assuming it was me. It was not. I, like the rest of my family, was sound asleep at 3 a.m. He got downstairs and found a young, wasted woman passed out on our couch. My dad had to go wake my mom up so my mom could wake up the girl so she would feel less threatened. When she woke up, she was a slurring mess. Apparently, she lived in the house before we moved in and had a key. While drunk, she forgot that she didn't live there anymore and thought she was just going home. She called someone to come pick her up, and we never saw her again. We had really shady landlords who told us that they changed the locks before we moved in. Obviously, they lied. That's kind of sad. That's heartbreaking. I don't know if you guys Yeah, I'm not going to sidetrack. I feel like I'm going to sidetrack. I'm just going to keep going on the stories here. That one was sad, though. That wasn't scary. Sleep good, Lipstick Lisa. Stay safe, everybody. And those who are with me, let's keep going. Number 14, claws scrabbling and blood on the roof. So I live in a 16-foot camper. Let me see here. Before the rest of my family moved in here, this was my research vehicle. I researched the history of human habitation in Colorado. So this camper has been everywhere. It's been to the harsh southeastern canyonlands, stepped out the door in the morning to find a herd of wild horses in the northwest, and endured severe storms in the short grass prairie. For a while, I took it south to the Mexico border, cats, eh? And lived on the grounds of a museum and battle site in the Chihuahua Desert. I'd been there for quite a bit, and at 2 a.m. I heard and felt an impact on my roof just over my head, over my bed, and claws, big claws. I've seen Jeepers Creepers. I know how this works. Anyway, I laid there, petrified, listening to something very big attempt to peel my camper like a tin can. About an hour later, it went away. In the morning, I did snake patrol. Just before winter, a lot of rattlesnakes, lizards, and such try to move into the museum. And when I looked at my camper, I saw blood on the roof and scratches. Oh, fuck no. The smaller critters of the desert took care of a lot of whatever it was, so I didn't have much to wash off by the time I finished snake patrol. So I went to bed that night, and the next without worrying much about my imminent demise. A couple of nights later, it happened again. 2 a.m., thunk, claws, scratching. Jesus, this thing spans the entire width of my camper. Claws scrabbling, me terrified. Thing goes away an hour later. Blood on my camper roof. Next night, thunk, claws, camper roof being pummeled, weird sounds. And then, thunk, on the other end of my camper. Claws coming closer to the roof over my bed. I ran out of the door, frantically unlocking my truck, and from the safety of my truck, looked back at my camper. The male owl looked on from my roof as a female owl devoured its furry, very dead offering. He lived in the water tower. She lived just across the border near a feedlot. And my camper roof was the only patch of white within plain view of her community. He'd been demonstrating his ability to hunt and kill for a week, bringing half-dead prey to the roof, letting it escape over and over and pinning it over and over. And finally on this night, he wooed her. It was so sweet. I never minded cleaning up the blood after that. It only lasted another week, and then I saw them together at the water tower. Oh, how romantic, for God's sake. My God. So you think you're going to die a horrible death, and it's owl romance. Okay. That's the weirdest ending to a story I never expected to hear. Ever. You know what I really thought it might have been, though? Eagles, because they're way bigger than people think they are. If you've ever saw one, they're enormous. I feel like if I was 2 inches shorter with wings, same size. I'm just joking. I'm not that short. All right. We have some more stories if you guys want to read them. Roger Hensley, hello. We've been at this for about 90 minutes now. There will be a lag, just letting you know, as this is the first time I've successfully set up this nightmare of a streaming service that we now have on YouTube. The external software you have to download, figure out, and then somehow magically link it to YouTube. I have no idea how I achieved it. Owl romance. That would be a weird read. If it were a chapter book, I'm saying. You know, like Harlequin romance. Owls in the night. I don't know. The Hallmark books. They're enormous, yeah. Okay, we have two choices here because I think I'm going to be able to make it through one of the two. So we've got either 21 people describe the most traumatizing horrors they've ever experienced, or 17 people share their scariest fight or flight stories. And you know they're never going to be that scary. People are so dramatic. I'm back. Wow. That was fast. Do you guys care which one I read? Number 1, 21 people describe the most traumatizing horrors they've ever experienced. Or number 2, 17 people share their scariest fight or flight stories. Vote amongst yourselves. Or I'm just going to pick one at random. I'll play entertaining music until you guys decide. Or sing it. Do 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 do. I have 3 votes for 1 vote for 2. Do 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 boom boom. All right, we're going with the first one. Sorry. All right, that means I can close it on another 1 to 2. I think that helps if there's less windows open on the computer. Zena, you're on my live chat now, right? I just saw a message on Twitter. All right. Okay. 21 people describe the most traumatizing horrors they've ever experienced. Now, if there's anybody on here that's upset because they ran out of garbage bags, I swear to God, I'm writing the editor. All right. Oh, the first one. Oh, my bad. Right off the bat. His arms and legs were no longer attached to his body. So right out of the gate. Just right out of the gate this time. Wow. Back in 2008 or so, my mother and I were driving my great-grandmother to visit my great-grandfather, who was in the nursing home a few towns over due to Alzheimer's. Some other family was headed over on a motorcycle to meet us there. About halfway there, we came up on a crash that authorities hadn't gotten to yet. We met the first responders after we passed the crash. I was intrigued, being 8 years old. I looked at the damaged cars in awe. I happened to just get a glance of what I think was about half of a motorcycle. About that moment, my mother told me to cover my eyes, so I did as I was told. And not even 2 seconds passed before my great-grandmother let out the most blood-curdling scream I have ever heard, causing me to uncover my eyes and look. I saw several men in leather riding gear taking a knee around one man who no longer had any arms or legs attached to his body. One arm was actually stuck in the front end of the 4th car I'd seen in the crash next to him. I immediately covered my eyes again in shock of what I'd just seen. To this day, my mother does not know that I saw it, and the only person I ever told that I did see was my grandmother, who was not there that day. I've remembered it at least once a week since that day. Every time it feels just as scary as the first. Oh my God, that's terrible. That's awful. These ones are going to be rough. Oh, yeah. You guys want me to keep reading them, I will. But again, I'm not going to read anything with animals or kids in it. It's just heads up. If I can avoid it anyway. Sometimes they hide that shit in the story, but whew, that one was rough. All right. Yeah. Yikes. All right. Here we go. Next one's title is Burned Alive in a Shipping Container. Told to me by my uncle. He did some work welding on the inside of semi-truck trailers that carry gas and whatnot. The ones that look like cylinders. Well, they were inside the tank welding and took a lunch break. And one person didn't shut off the gas to the welder properly, so it was leaking during the break. One guy got in the tank to keep working after lunch, and as soon as he went in to light his torch, the entire container ignited. The man was screaming as he was being burned alive, while all the other men tried to get him out. And when they finally got him out of the container, he was screaming and writhing in pain with all of the skin on his body burnt off. He shriveled up into a ball and died soon after. Yeah, you guys let me know if you want me to keep going, because I don't think these are going to get any lighter. You're getting confused? Okay. The next one is titled, Witnessed an Accident That Killed Her Friend. Well, this probably won't be as bad as the last one. When I was in second grade, I had a friend in the grade below me. She was the friend of a boy in my class who I didn't like, but she was nice and we both liked to read, so we would talk about books on the bus. One day we were on the bus sitting next to each other talking about our latest pickups from the school library. We reached her stop. She said goodbye to me and got off the bus with her brother and older sister. I watched her siblings cross the road, but my friend had stopped before crossing to tie her shoes. Our bus driver began honking his horn and screaming, "Stop!" out the window. I looked out the window in time to see her begin to cross before she was hit by the motorcycle. Her body flew up and hit the roof of our bus before hitting the road. The motorcycle stopped down the road, only half aware of what he had just done. I'll never forget the mother's scream. I watched my friend's unconscious body bleed out on the pavement, limbs broken and facing the wrong direction. The bus erupted in panic. And due to us being part of an accident, the bus driver's determination to help her before the ambulance could arrive, we didn't move the bus. And we sat there for over an hour while a second bus was sent to pick us up and finish our route. But I couldn't take my eyes off of her the entire time. My parents tried to talk to me about it afterward, and the school offered therapy, but I didn't want either. I just kind of stuffed it down. She ended up dying in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The school held a service, and her brother and sister left school for several months. As it would turn out, that accident gave me a severe case of PTSD. I was never able to drive a car. The mere thought of cars makes me anxious. I was hospitalized after a suicide attempt a couple months ago. I'm doing significantly better now after official diagnosis and new meds, but I am not sure if I'll ever drive. It's also, may I mention, especially difficult facing PTSD as a civilian and not a cop or soldier. For some reason, many people don't believe that I have PTSD because I wasn't either of the aforementioned professions. Don't judge, yo. Mental illness can happen to anyone. Also, as it turns out, the driver was legally blind and had his license suspended because of that fact. He ended up going to jail but was released after a couple of years due to an illness. The bus driver was? What about the person that hit the child? I'm sorry, you guys, I didn't know it was going to be that. I assumed by the title it was an adult. That was rough. Yes, this is a horror channel. Yeah, this is what we do here. This is what we do. Ronnie. Oh, cats. Man, you guys are cool. No, you guys are the best. Paul Cates, hey, I just said you were one of the ones they were trying to figure out who was missing. Schmeister, Tall Guy 32, Jerry Roletter, I think. I'm trying to go through all of the people. Autumn Lithenthal. I'm drawing a blank if there's anybody else that's not here that normally is. Damn Gypsy was one of the ones that popped in at the end too. Okay. Okay, we're gonna give me a second to make sure there's no other horrible stories about children, but yes, this is what we do here. Her face looked like I don't know, you guys. Do you want me to keep reading? These ones are awful. They're just, these ones aren't comforting. These are awful. More horror. Are these horror, though? These are just like, feels like horrible news stories. Let me scroll down and see if there's something more ridiculous. Like paranormal type. Because these ones are going to give me some PTSD. Try to go down to the bottom and I went too far. I'm having a hard time finding anything like that, though. Maybe if I just do a quick Google search. Give me a second here. More horror. More. Give me a second here. See if I can. I was holding my laptop on my hand because it's easier to see it that way if it's just a little bit closer, and I didn't realize that I was like doing that after a while, so I hurt my wrist a little bit. And I think I burnt my hand somehow today. I don't know. Sometimes I can't feel part of it, so sometimes it happens. Oh boy. Chilling real ghost stories. Pfft. It's hard to find really good paranormal stories, I tell you that. Scariest. Oh, this is from 2017, so maybe it's like decent. Okay, let's see. Is everybody doing good? Horror fan isn't here. Oh, yep. Yeah, we said that earlier too. I'm not here either. Me too. You smell better when you're awake. All right. This is supposedly scariest real life paranormal experiences. Let's see if they're like one sentence or if they're actual stories. So let me take a gander. Talk amongst yourselves. Coffee talk. It says, you asked, we delivered. Sure you did. We'll be the judge of that. Okay. I can get rid of this ad. Oh, there we go. Okay. Are these all photos? God damn it. Sorry. I just... That's so annoying when they do that thing. Have you ever clicked on a... Oh, Rose. That's right. Have you ever clicked on something that's like, find out what this one... What's the last one I did that to? And it was like a 23-page scenario where I had to keep clicking next at the bottom of like one paragraph to find out the end of the story. About halfway through, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to see it through because I want to see what the end game is here. And every time I go to one of those, I'm going to get so mad because I'm like, why do you do that to people? And not only that, the websites that do that have like 50 ads on there, so it takes forever for the page to load. And even when it does load, it doesn't load properly, so it takes forever to get to that next button. So you can just power through to get to the punchline of the story that you went there for in the first place. Not cool. 8 real life horror stories. Let's see. And also, let's see if I already read this in October. Hopefully I didn't. 8 terrifying but true horror stories reported in the news. So these are going to be super short. Oh. Okay. The first one is Deadly Exorcism. So are you guys ready? Are you buckled in? Are you ready? You got your tea? Got a snack? Clickbait. Yeah. Gothic Rose. Oh, she was here earlier. Wasn't she? Wasn't Gothic Rose here earlier? Blah, 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 blah. Horror fan dad. There was a couple people that used to come all the time. It's my own fault. Oh, that's right. Merit. What she's expecting. Oh. All right. This one is called A Deadly Exorcism. In August 2016 in North London, 26-year-old Kennedy Ife began acting strange and aggressive following a pain in his throat. He reportedly bit his father, threatened to cut off his own penis, and complained of a python or snake inside of him before his family restrained him to a bed with cable ties in excessive force. The BBC reported the family then set about attempting to cure Kennedy through restraint and prayer over the next 3 days, the court was told. Oh boy, this must have went bad. I don't know what the outcome is here. His brother Colin Ife told police it's clear that the thing was in him. What we believed was a demon because it was not natural. It was clearly trying to kill him, he said. We had to restrain him for himself. It was clear if we didn't restrain him, he would have tried to harm people in our family. And then you call the police, though. Because, yeah, you call the police and have them restrain him just because now you're in court. Someone got something bad happened to him. Kennedy Ife had been bound to his bed for 3 days without medical attention when his brother called emergency services, explaining that Kennedy Ife was complaining of dehydration. He appeared to have developed breathing issues and was pronounced dead at 10:17 a.m. The Independent reported while police were at the house, Colin Ife allegedly carried out an attempted resurrection by chanting and praying for Mr. Ife. All 7 of Kennedy Ife's family members were accused of manslaughter, false imprisonment, and causing or allowing the death of a vulnerable adult. A post-mortem examination revealed over 60 wounds, including a possible bite on Kennedy Ife's body, and his father, Kenneth Ife, along with 4 of his brothers, sustained injuries as well. Oh boy. There was an ad below it. I thought it was pictures. The BBC reported Kennedy Ife told jurors he ordered his sons to take shift and use overwhelming force, but denied that any association with cults, and secret societies played any part in the death. After a 4-day jury deliberation, all 7 family members were cleared of charges on March 14th, 2019. The next one is Dead Animals in the Walls. I'm going to skip that one. Yikes. The next one's called Florida Devil Worshipping. Just a heads up. Wow. All right. Okay, here we go. Friends noticed that Danielle Harkins, a 35-year-old school teacher near St. Petersburg, Florida, started acting strangely in June of 2012, developing an interest in demonic rituals. Soon after, she was arrested for abuse of 7 of her former students, as the Tampa Bay Times reported. Danielle Harkins told the kids they needed to rid their bodies of demons as the group gathered before dusk Saturday around a small fire near the St. Petersburg Pier. They should cut their skin to let the evil spirits out, police said she told the children. Then they needed to burn the wounds to ensure that the spirits would not return. Oh my God. Whew. When Harkins held a lighter to one of the teens' hands, wind blew the flame out, police said. That prompted her to douse his hand in perfume before setting it on fire. The boy obviously suffered second-degree burns. Another teen was cut on the neck with a broken bottle. Harkins used a flame to heat a small key, which she then used to cauterize the wound. The police were notified because a friend of one of the students who participated in the ritual raised alarms. However, none of the students themselves told their parents about the event or would comment following the arrest of Harkins for aggravated battery and child abuse. Well, they're minors, so they don't need to. Investigators said that they've spoken to Harkins, but she didn't spell out what type of religion would require such drastic measures. She hasn't informed us exactly what she was trying to accomplish with this. And that's how that story ends. The next one is the death of Elisa Lam. We're going to skip it because I don't know about you, but I've heard it a bunch of times. Check the chat. Okay, this one is called An Exorcism in Indianapolis. Last year, the Indianapolis Star published a lengthy report on a family terrorized by 3 children allegedly possessed by demons. This is from the Demon House, actually. The account of LaToya Amons and her family tells disturbing stories of children climbing up the walls, getting thrown across rooms, and children threatening doctors in deep, unnatural voices. It would seem like something straight out of a movie, a work of fantasy. Except all of these accounts were more or less corroborated with nearly 800 pages of official records obtained by the Indianapolis Star and recounted in more than a dozen interviews with police, DCS personnel, psychologists, family members, and a Catholic priest. One of the more chilling sections of the report includes a segment about the possessed 9-year-old. According to Washington's original DCS report, an account corroborated by Walker the nurse, the 9-year-old had a weird grin and walked backward up a wall to the ceiling. He then flipped over Campbell, landing on his feet. He never let go of his grandmother's hand. Another segment of the piece reads, the 12-year-old would later tell mental health professionals that she sometimes felt as if she were being choked and held down so she couldn't speak or move. The entire time I'm reading this to you, my dog was going crazy on the floor. She said she heard a voice say she'd never see her family again and wouldn't live another 20 minutes. Yikes. Ooh. Let's see. This one's a Utah murder-suicide. But this is supposed to be paranormal, so... Oh, no, it says real-life horror stories, so I don't know. All right, well, let's... Okay. In September of 2014, a Utah teen returned to his home to find his parents and their 3 siblings dead. In a notebook, a to-do list had been scribbled on the pages. The list looked as if the parents were readying to go on vacation. Items such as feed the pets and find someone to watch after the house were written. The Salt Lake Tribune reported this. It appeared to be a murder-suicide, but there was no suicide note, no prior indication that they would do this. No explanation. The police could not figure out why 2 parents would kill themselves and 3 of their 4 children. For a year, no one knew exactly what happened to the family, or what would drive the parents to do something so unthinkable. In January, police released more chilling details in the case. According to accounts from family members and an investigation by police, the parents were driven by a belief that the apocalypse was coming and an obsession with a convicted killer. The Washington Post reported that friends and family told police that the parents were worried about the evil in the world and wanted to escape a pending apocalypse. But most assumed they just wanted to move somewhere off-grid. Investigators also found letters written by Christy Strack to one of the state's most infamous convicted killers, Dan Lafferty, who was convicted in the 1984 fatal stabbing of his sister-in-law and her 1-year-old daughter. God. According to trial testimony, he killed the victims at the order of his brother, Ron Lafferty, who claimed to have a revelation from God. The story became a book called Under the Banner of Heaven. Police said Christy Strack became friends with Dan Lafferty, and she and her husband even visited him in prison. What is wrong with people? Oh, Jesus Christ. He got stalked by friends. Don't watch him so often. Following who? Franco TV. This might be the last one here, guys. Let me see. I don't know if there's one after this one. Oh, no. We got 2 more. 2 more, and we're going to call it a night. Losing my voice. This one's called The Phone Stalker. In 2007, ABC News documented a series of cell phone calls to families with terrifyingly specific death threats. The unidentified callers knew exactly what families were doing and what they were wearing. The families say the calls come in at all hours of the night, threatening to kill their children, their pets, and grandparents. Voicemails arrives, playing recordings of their private conversations, including one with a local police detective. The caller knows, the families say, what they're wearing and what they're doing, and after months of investigating, police seem powerless to stop it. This went on with the Kaikenal family for months. I'm probably butchered that pronunciation of that name, who reported a caller with a scratchy voice threatening to slit their throats. When the Faircrest, Washington police tried to find the culprit, the calls were traced back to the Kuykendall's own phones, even when they were turned off. And then it got worse. The Kuykendalls and 2 other Faircrest families told ABC News that they believe the callers are using their cell phones to spy on them. They say the hackers know their every move, where they are, what they're doing, and what they're wearing. The callers have recorded private conversations, the family and police said, including a meeting with a local detective. You know what it sounds like to me, fellow YouTuber enthusiasts? Sounds to me like somebody got on the dark web and ruined everyone's life in the neighborhood. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm just saying. You don't know. Maybe. It's almost 5 a.m. Oh my God. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to go to the last one here. 118 minutes of streaming. This one's called The Watcher. I think everyone's heard of this Jersey family. After moving into their $1.3 million dream home, a New Jersey family started receiving creepy death threats from someone who identified as The Watcher. And I'll tell you about another theory after this. Since moving in, the owners say they have received numerous letters from the mysterious person, The Watcher, claimed the home has been the subject of my family for decades, and I've been put in charge of watching and waiting for its second coming. The new owners have several children, and other letters asked, have they found out what's in the walls yet? And, I am pleased to know your names now and the names of the young blood you have brought to me. The family was forced to flee from their home and later filed a lawsuit against the previous owners. Now, there was also some sort of other side to that, saying that they didn't want to pay their mortgage and they refused to pay it until they, I don't know why that part was brought up. It's probably not even true anyway, but yeah. But I think we're going to wrap it up because I'm going to lose my voice now. I'm going to put a survey up to see what day people want to hear stories on YouTube. I think everybody kind of prefers a Saturday night stream. Am I right on that one? But as far as a video, what's a better day or time? Right now, probably any day or time is probably better than none, right? Because everyone's bored out of their mind. But I'm going to put up that survey there. So it won't be so long till you hear from me next. But as for now, we're going to wrap it up and say goodnight. Yeah, I'm going to try not to, okay? Thank you guys for coming and listening to me ramble on. I hope I distracted you. I feel a little more relaxed. I don't know if that's because I'm tired or not. My dog's giving me that look where I have to let her outside before she pees and everything. Not really sure how to end the stream, though. So if it abruptly ends, I'm sorry. Let me see how I do this here. I actually don't know how I do this. I don't know how to end the stream. I figured out how to get it all up and going, but now I don't know how to I don't know how to end it. This is funny. Anyway, if you're new here and you don't know how we say goodbye, well, it's kind of sarcastic and it's been a while, but I'm just gonna say thanks for coming and bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. I don't know if it's gonna work. Thanks for coming.